All right, folks, welcome back to the channel. For tonight's episode, we are going to make a apple pie from scratch, almost from scratch. We're not going to make the crust from scratch. We're going to save that lesson for another time. But for tonight, we're going to use the Pillsbury. Now, this is not an endorsement. They're not paying us. It's what I'm using. Just saying. just saying, you know. I don't want to get sued. I'm happy with the product. They're not paying me. All right. Anyway, so we're going to use a 10-inch deep pie shell, pie tin here. Okay, come in a package of 2. Now, these they come with 2, so you can have one on the bottom and one on top. I'm going to do this as a crumb top apple pie, so we could actually make 2. We'll save this one for another time. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is, I'm a little ginger today, folks. My back is sore, so I'm going to be sitting a little bit here. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is just open this guy up. Now, this has been sitting out on the table for a little while, so it's at room temperature now, which is definitely the easiest way. If you try and do this right out of the fridge when it's cold, it's really, really hard to work with. It might crumble on you. You got to be a little more delicate and gentle here, but it is easier if you're taking your time with it. Okay, so you basically, what I'm just going to do is set it right in the shell. And I'm looking to have it be right in the center here. I know from experience that these guys just come right to the very edge. Okay. Now I'm not crimping it. Okay. There's no need for that. Okay. Alright, so just want to make sure it's into the corner of the pan there good. Okay, that's good. Okay, now we're just going to let this sit off to the side, let it rest for a minute. Now, the next step, I like to get my crumb topping made and out of the way. So I'm going to use 1 cup of granulated sugar here. Okay. And then I'm going to need 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Okay, that's about 1. Let's see, this is my half cup, yeah. Okay, good enough. Okay, so 1.5 and 1. And then I'm going to use 1.5 sticks of butter. Actually, 1 1/3 would be good, but I'll put it in the 1.5. Yeah, so yeah. Okay. So what I want to do is just open it up here. I'll take one of these guys and cut it in half. Set it off to the side. Okay. I'll come back to that in a little bit. Alright, so now what I want to do is cut this up into some pieces. I like to cube my pieces like this. And then that gets it started here. I'm going to just give this a shaky shake. A little shaky shake. Okay, and now I'm going to separate the butter into the shaky shake. All the dry ingredients. Okay, what we're going to do is make a little crumble here. Put that off to the side. Okay. Alright, so now toss it all around. And now it's time to work the fingers. Okay, basically I'm going to smash these pieces up. Okay. And I'm going to incorporate it all together. Okay. What I like to do is get a bunch of it and squeeze real hard in between the hands. And that works the sugar and the flour into the butter. Now you don't want to use a mixer for this, okay? If you do that, you're just going to end up with paste. You don't want that. You want crumbs. So it's very, very important that you just take the time to do this by hand. There we go. See how it's starting to come together into chunks here? Mm-hmm. You want some, basically you want to have a few pea-sized pieces of butter left. And then, you know, a lot of crumbly parts. Okay. There, see we go. There we go. That's about good. A couple of pieces left, but...
So don't be afraid to get your hands dirty, basically.
Well, you have to. This is one of those things. I mean, you could spend 3 times as long and use forks, you know. But, you know, whatever. It takes too long, too much work. All right. So,
I've done it.
Nice little crumb topping. We'll leave this off to the side here. Okay, let me wash my hands real quick, folks. Okie dokie. So now, next step is to get my apples done. Now, for the sake of expediency, I took a little time to get most of my apples already pre-sliced for you, so you didn't have to sit here and watch me do this all day. Anyway, I'm going to do one, though, in front of the camera, because I want to show you my method. Okay, so... a lot of people use a paring knife. A lot of people use a peeler. Okay, you can use a carrot peeler. This is actually an apple peeler, and it's a right-handed apple peeler. There's just one blade right here on the one side, and I like to use this. It's you know, it's small. It fits my hand nice. It's what I like to use. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the bottom here, and I'm just going to go around, and then I'm going to keep going around. Okay, now I'm using 7 apples total, okay? I got, let's see, 4 Fiji apples, and then 3 of the Honey Crisp apples, okay? I like to use a combination, you know. That way, well, that way what happens is you end up with a little texture, okay? I might as well just do this right over here. You end up with a little texture because, you know, some of them get baked soft and some of them stay a little crispy. You know, they're not all like, you know, mushy, but you don't want them all to be crispy. You know, you want them to break down some.
Right.
So anyway, that's my sweet spot, and that's just personal to me. Everyone should, you know, find their own. So, all right. Okay, so basically, once I got 99% of the skin off, okay, I'm not going to worry about that little guy. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I got the skin off, still the core. Instead of coring it, I do have one of them corers where you can just dig the core out. But that's if I wanted to leave the apple whole. Because I want to slice it, I'm just actually going to cut right down, and then I'm going to, you know, go from the top to the bottom of the core. Okay, I like to get them all cut like that first. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my knife, and I'm going to dig in and then get that part. Okay, so it's a in, a gouge, and then an off, basically. Here, I'll do that again. Okay, so I'm going to go up in like that, and then down and up, and then down to get that last part. Okay, now that's the way I do it. Everyone's going to find their own motion, you know. I mean, if you do this enough, you're going to figure it out, and you'll develop your own way to do it, you know. And that's really the goal. So, all right. So here's my last one. Oop. Yeah, it's all right. Lose a little bit of that. I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, so now what I do is I take my pieces and I go across with my slices, like this. Okay, and that's how I get all those nice pieces of apple, those nice slices. You don't want to go like this. It's too big. Okay, you want to go across. Those are nice pieces. And that's the way you can make them the most uniform. Okay, if you were to go this the long way with your slices, a lot of your slices are going to break, and you're going to end up with, some chunks and some long slices, and they're not going to be as even. So, and the more even they are, the more evenly they bake, which is the key. Okay, so there's that. We got our seven apples already done. Okay, yum. Now, I need to add a little sugar for sweetness, add a little flour for body, and add some cinnamon for flavor, of course. So, I believe that we need, what is it, a cup of sugar? Let me check. Oh, no, only a half a cup. We're going to put a half a cup of sugar on there. We don't want to put too much on there. Okay, so a half a cup. Let's see, this is a half a cup. All right. Okay, we'll just sprinkle that on nice. Okay, and now it's a good time to do the cinnamon. What do we need? Cinnamon. Okay, I like to use 2 heaping teaspoons. Not 2 heaping. That's good. 1, 2. You don't want to make it so cinnamony. It's like, Plus, this is that good Saigon cinnamon. That's hardcore stuff, Doesn't take much. All right, so I'm going to give a shake. And then... Oh, yeah. Look at that. Oop.
Got a runner.
We got a runner, folks. Oh, boy. Okay. There's that. Now, we got to put some flour on there. And we're going to do 1/3 of a cup of flour. Okay, so I think that's this one. Yep, 1/3. Okay, so we'll do 1/3 of a cup of flour. Sprinkle that right on. Okay.
Starting to smell good in here, man.
Yeah, you wait.
Oh, I'm sure.
Okay, look at that. The shaky. And the shaky. Okay, now, right in the shell they go. Oh, yeah. Notice there's some cinnamon spots and some not so cinnamon spots. It all adds to the texture of the pie.
Yeah.
You don't want, you want pockets here and pockets there. Okay. Oh, look at this. Oh, man. Okay. Now we're talking here. Okay, so now it's time to spread it out. Okay. Make it look nice and even. Okay. I want to, instead of having a pyramid of apples, I want it to be more of a, more of like a stump, so to speak. Really, it just needs to be flat on top. And what I'm looking for is for an even layer of apples, and for the finished product. Okay, so basically I'm moving the apples around, finding all the holes, moving everything so that it's all even. Okay, just like so. There we go. Look at that. See how that is? Mm-hmm. There you go. Mm-hmm.